Talwalkars Better Fitness Limited. I welcome all of you to the Q2 analyst meet and to discuss future outlook for the organization for next few years. We have with us our CEO and Managing Director, Mr. Prashant Talwalkar, and our Finance Director and CFO, Mr. Anand Gawande. We would be making a presentation and we'll invite you for question and answers then. May I request? Mr. Talwalkar will be taking all the operational questions, whichever you have, and Mr. Gawande will be taking all the questions which you have related to finance, the organization. May I request Mr. Talwalkar, please?
Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for your time given to us. And my uncle and the chairman, Mr. Madhukar, always says good morning, everyone. Yeah? So in his absence, I take that chair and I say good morning, everyone. And I'm so glad that I'm very happy to be present in front of you. I want you to have a good look at the screen as we progress. I'm going to explain you something, where we stand, what we want. Our Prime Minister started the whole campaign saying that Swachh Bharat, Clean Bharat, and he's talking about many things. And you can see from this particular slide, what I'm trying to show here is the way there was good things happening. Yeah? Usually when you open a newspaper, you will read all bad news on the front page, but I want you to see the good news. And the Prime Minister's mission to keep Swachh Bharat, we actually started with Swasthya Bharat. And truly speaking, if I say, we started with Healthy India and Fit India mission. And when we are talking about Healthy India and Fit India mission, I know it's a big journey, long journey to go, long way to go. We came long way. From 1932 and now in 2014, I know it's going to be a good journey, but Prime Minister is helping us by giving us a good opportunity. Just as an information, Gandhinagar, where we also have our gym. So it's a very good thing. And if you look at this, what do you mean by Swasthya Bharat? We are trying to encourage everybody. I remember my grandfather's stories in 1935, 36, 1937, or when he started off in 1932 as a gym. He always told his men members, and he says, what are you doing with the wives and your sisters and your mothers at home? Bring them to the gym. And I still remember one of the incidents where he said that those days even the actors, female actors were filmed, the role was played by the male actor. So it was culturally not allowed for a woman to actually come out very openly. Those days he said, no, bring your wives, bring your mother, I want them to be in the gym. So the Swasthya, what we call it is overall trying to bring in the best possible in the fitness industry. So we are approaching towards that. We want to grow in that many ways. And I remember one sentence about Americans. They said that road made America. America never made the roads. I'm going to take the similar credit and I'm going to talk to Prime Minister and say that if you look at this national highway across India, we are all across on that same path. So we also spread very well last few years. And the growth is just as a demarcation, just the marking for you to see how the growth has been taking place over the years. We followed the highway or the highway followed us, I don't know, but we are on this track. Let's take an overview on how we are pan-India or what we are. Look at the quarter which ended in September 2010. It was few number, what we call is 76. And then today, when we're talking in this quarter, we are talking about 150 clubs across India. We jumped from 39 cities and we went to 78 cities. And you can see this spread across. People always said, you are Maharashtrian, you are Mumbai based, you originated from Mumbai, you are still here. So now, look at this. We went Uttar Pradesh, Gujarat, Andhra, Telangana mixed together, 15 clubs. So India is really, truly speaking, growing, and these cities and the states give us a very good response, encouraging response, and there's so much more space left for us to go. This is the footprint. This is the number of clubs, 150 clubs. If you look at this slide particularly, then you will see how they are divided into their own ones and then subsidiary, franchise, and licensed ones, and then the hi-fi. I'm not even. If you look at this slide, particular slide, I have not even mentioned about any big countries. We're talking about Brazil, Poland, Portugal, Egypt. A place like Egypt has got 924 clubs. Now imagine the scope India has. We are just 1,200 and something figure, 1,234, and a small places like Vietnam and Egypt, they are as good as us. I want this slide for some more time, just to see. We are not talking about America. We are not talking about Europe. We are big countries in Europe, but we are talking about these small places. Portugal, in fact, being a smaller country, still has got almost same or more than us clubs. Can we go to the next? Yeah. Proud to say, well, to sustain for so many years and with the leadership, with 46%, almost 47%, I call it, market share. So we can look at the next one, number 2. Go back to that slide. This one. Stay there. And you can see this market share, and I, with your support and all my members which are there in my gym, I'm sure we will take more than what is there right now. And I'm proud to say, with all humbleness, that to remain in this category for so many years is challenging, but I'm very happy to show you what we are, where we are. We'll see. Probably this is more interesting slide to you also, that you may not know who are the shareholders. Of course, some of you are, most of you are also there. Your support has always been there. So these are the names for your, that mean that these are the people who have supported us all the while and as a good contribution in our growth. Right. These are the people who has carried forward this group. Right. Madhukar Talwalkar is the chairman, who is also my uncle. Next is me. And I have Vinayak Gawande, Harsha Futkar, Girish Talwalkar, Anand is here. And there are others are independent directors. Mr. Bide, Abza Futkar, Fatki, Sujaykar, and Abhijit Patil. They've all been here with their some or the other contribution towards our progress in our mission, in our work. So, just look at this, what we did. How did we grow? Some years ago, I'm not a very good reader. I don't read at all, in fact. So somebody gave me a book, Who Moved My Cheese? It's few pages. I'm sure you all guys know that about the book. And I read that book, and we decided, you know what? Being a leader, being number one is all in the books. But if you really want to remain there, you've got to bring in some changes. You have to be one step ahead of time. I say it as ahead of time is because sometimes you need to introduce some of the things early. As we crossed, if you look at the slide, when we crossed 50 gyms, we crossed 100 gyms, what we did not stop is bringing in new things all the time, constantly. I remember a few years ago, right from my grandfather's time, you will keep hearing this line of my grandfather, because he really genuinely inspired me, and I had an opportunity to get trained under him. He constantly said that bring in something new, because what you sell is actually punishment. What happens after that is very good, but to sell a punishment is not a joke. Yeah, people come and give you money to exercise. So please bring a variation, variety, entertainment, fun, joy, where people will keep coming in again and again, day in and day out, year on year. Therefore, if you look at these, the introduction, we do not bring anything, what we call it as a fad, fashion, short-term, short-lived, shortcuts. We bring in something which is sustainable, long-term, forever, result-oriented. So we went on adding a lot of facilities. The new one, the latest one, a couple of years ago I can call it as, is the introduction of food, which is a part of the weight loss program. It's called Reduce. People complain every time that when my wife is on weight loss program, the whole house goes on weight loss. So why don't you do something for only those who are interested in losing weight? The wife, the woman population complain, it is not very easy. I cannot cook only for me. I cannot just pack my tiffin and go and eat in the office. It's not convenient. I eat that idli which is available there, or some sandwiches or some rolls. So we designed this pattern where it is convenient food which can be carried anywhere, anytime. The food is given by us. Yeah? It is manufactured under our quality control, whereby people find it very convenient. The whole house is not on weight loss. It's only the person who needs weight loss. And it is tasty. The Reduce has got tremendous response. Results are fantastic. It's not only because the food is good, it's also because it's a quality food. People get chance to eat right on time, right quantity. So Reduce has given us a good response. So when I remember a few years ago, when these people used to come and say, you know what, Mr. Talwalkar, we hate going to the gym. I don't like touching my toe. Forget it. I am a lazy person. Why don't you get something very easy and shortcut where I don't have to come to the gym or go to the gym or don't go to the gym every day? Some people said, you know what, I don't go to the gym because there is no parking. And people said many reasons why they don't want to go to the gym. In one of my visits to European countries where there are very big exhibitions and research displayed, I came across this EMS technology, electromuscular stimulant, brilliantly developed, actually developed for astronauts in early 90s. Astronauts, when they are in the space, they live sometimes from, 8 days to 6 months. They don't have, they move around in anti-gravity space. They don't have much movement, they don't have much of exercise. So this EMS technology was actually introduced for them. Then slowly and steadily it grew and came in athletics, sports. They say a lot of sports records which you see broken is due to this technology. This technology slowly and steadily came into fitness industry. And what does it do is that it just gives you an exercise of almost 3.5 hours or 4 hours workout of a week just in 20 minutes. And if you want to know more about it, I can spend another 3 hours explaining you the science, but I'm not taking that time for that. Please come and experience in our studios or in the gym. That's called EMS technology. What we named that as a new form. Now, when we combined this new form and Reduce together, we named it as a transform. Now, transform is something which has picked up very well. We introduced transform in Mumbai first. because we wanted to see how and what could be the response. You don't need much space for this facility, this usage. The timings is by appointment, is just for 20 minutes. You don't have to come every day. People love that because they say, you know what, you have got something very nice because we can enjoy our part, we can party the rest of the 6 days, and one day I come and exercise and I'm very happy. But it's not actually like that. It not only gives, EMS does not give only weight loss or give an exercise. It gives many other things, many other wonderful experiences. And one of them is feeling well-being when you finish that workout. Now what is that well-being feeling actually comes as a science is a good blood circulation. Blood circulation improves your muscular development. It releases all your pains and aches. And that's where you have an energy. When you go to bed at the end of the day, you still have an energy to do something more. So it's getting very popular. So together we said it transformed. Zumba came in a very big wave, and we suggested Zumba globally, the global office of theirs, that we would like to take a charge of Zumba in India, which is in a very scattered form. But what I assume is, or what I understand is, they are also taking time to structure it well in India. So right now you may not see lots of noise from our side about Zumba. It doesn't mean that we are reducing or removing or doing changes in it. We are just waiting for Zumba as a company and as an office globally to settle and understand and structure it for India. And once that happens, you will see more noise about Zumba from us. But Zumba as such is very popular, very entertaining. The youth generally, now I call it from 16 to 40 men and women, more women population loves it. Yeah, they also have their merchandising, their clothes, their shoes, right, to headband, to armband, etc., etc. So Zumba is good. If you look, I want you to go back. If you look at this, just below the new form where the red block is, you see one bag, like thing, a luggage. So people said that, you know what, I'm very famous and I'm a celebrity, and you know what, I am not well to reach to your place. You know what, tomorrow I'm going to miss my session in your studio. So this is a portable machine where it's called home delivery. Yeah, means my trainers go with this machine door to door. So even if it's once in a week, which is getting very, very popular. Because those who don't like to come to gym, call my trainer home. So I call it a home gym, home delivery, personal training at home. There are people who has got some clinical problems by which they cannot reach to the place. Yeah, so they are finding it very convenient. So this particular facility has increased many members. Yeah, so we go to the next. Now, TRX actually, this is if you look at the photograph, this is what people don't know. What is TRX, what is it? It is a suspended, if you see the belts which are hanging, and it allows, these belts allows your half of your body weight to be taken care of, at the same time coordinating and bringing the core training. So TRX worldwide is growing very rapidly. This is a group training. Okay, it can be taught by a trainer individually also. But we established these studios. If anybody would like to see in Mumbai, the new one which we opened in May is in Vileparle. Please come and have a look. It's a lovely exercise. And those who are not interested in probably weight training but like to do the core training, yeah, people opt for this facility. It's growing. I bought, by God's grace, we bought few trainers from UK, and we train our trainers to be TRX certified trainers. So this is how a typical TRX studio looks. This is my heart, soul and mother. It's my academy. Yeah. When we wanted to grow, it's very easy to open in numbers. So what I experienced is that India, though looks one, has got different cultures, east, west, north, south, different food, different language, different behavioral pattern. It's so difficult for send your signals, your training, your culture everywhere. So rather than going and teaching there, we established this 20,000 square foot academy, which is a residential academy. And we have wonderful faculties there. My head of the faculty is a surgeon. I don't think anybody else as a doctor has got a certified training, gym fitness training degree as Dr. Mahesh Zukar has. So Dr. Mahesh is the head of this academy as a faculty, and then we have a lot of training programs related to nutrition, exercise, but the most challenging is the behavioral training. And what I face as a challenge in my gym level is that I get client coming 365 days. Is anybody here who knows where the client comes 365 days? Yeah? And I know how well they are aware of the fact. Now, if you see a client every single day, imagine the expectation of the client is skyrocketed. It's not the equipments. It's not the interior decorations. It's the human, the touch. The trainers has to be at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5:30 in the morning as fresh as 2 o'clock in the afternoon when he's leaving. My member might come at 5 minutes to 2. He is very fresh. He expects my trainer to be as fresh as him. So my academy emphasizes more on behavioral training. It is extremely important to keep your calm, remain calm and composed, and give the training and share the training in a best possible way. Academy has given me so much high good scope that we could open huge number of, I call it huge because you've seen the growth. This number was possible only and only because of the academy. And I don't think anybody in India, in fact, some of my international colleagues, friends, trainers, when they come, they get, wow, we didn't know. Oh, we don't have this in our country. Because it's a residential. They develop, right? From the time we decide, we sign the agreement of lease agreement, we select the people, we bring them here and train so that there is a team formation. So the teamwork, work together, learning, they speak the same language, universal knowledge. So Academy has given us a huge support. And I know that my future growth also is going to come from here. So it's in Thana. Anybody who is interested in seeing in future, please let me know. I'll be glad to guide you and show you the interesting, good quality food, good training. It's surrounded in a good, lush, green jungle in the mountains. Yeah. So it's a beautiful academy. Academy is my heart and the mother. Yeah. Right. So every time people say, you know what, we want something new, we want this, we want that, facilities, and we keep on bringing. Then we realize that there are peak hours. There are peak hours in the morning, there are peak hours in the evening. Other than these peak hours, now today, to be more precise, the woman population is also increasing as a working woman. She also would like to finish her workout in the mornings or in the evenings. What do we do in the afternoons? What do we do in those areas and spaces? So if you look at this, I know it's a little complicated probably, but if you look at this a little closely, you will see that how did we utilize hour-wise and the year-wise. Now what does it mean by that? Early mornings you will see from 6 a.m. to 10:30. There is an age group which comes in these hours. So as in the evening from 5:30 to 10:30. But there are hours when this gym space is available. That's where the floor exercises, free exercises, group exercises got introduced. That is where the new form, then transform, and many other facilities like reduce. got introduced. The idea behind all this is to utilize maximum with the lower capex to increase the revenue by using the every inch in a square foot of the space available. I'm just going to wait. I know it's a little complicated, but why and how it is, how we are utilizing maximum, because people come and tell me, why don't you visit the world open 40,000 square foot and 50,000 square foot? I was in Australia in February, and this gentleman said, you know what, I opened 50 clubs in Melbourne, and I want you to see. And what I saw is 5,000 square foot each. Then he says, how big are your gym? I said, 5,000 square foot. Since when? I said, donkey's years. He says, are you joking? So the mid box, the large box of 10,000, 15,000 square foot, 5,000 square foot are other stories. Now that doesn't mean that India is not yet ready. Once it gets ready and ready to accept this kind of sizes, we will come, because that wave of West definitely touches India some or the other time, and I'm expecting that in a couple of years. So this is a typical gym of ours, which we cover in this manner and try to maximize it from the income and the revenue. This is a typical capex. If you look at this slide very closely again, and you will see that how we spend. In average gym, one club cost is around 2.5 crore rupees, and a smaller one, that what we call is a hi-fi, cost us around 1.1 crore, 1 crore 10 lakhs. Yeah. And how we spend this money, capex, is shown in a very typical format. I would like to hello. Yeah. I would like to reduce this cost, sure, but some of the factors which are not in my control, and one of them very strongly is the dollar price. Yeah, the more I remember when it was some 48 and 50 rupees, I would have shown you a different slide with a different capex. But today I have to show you this price. But the constant effort is on to reduce the capex so that we can get a better returns. So this is a typical spending. I'm not getting into how much is the air conditioning, but this is how generator costs, because our gyms do not stop or has anything less, because the moment you leave Mumbai, you get power cut. Gyms run all hours, full-fledged electricity. So generator is an essential and important part of this. Equipments, whatever equipments what you see in Mumbai, you see in maybe Guntur or maybe in the smaller towns also. So people are very impressed, saying, wow, this is like better than Mumbai. And those gyms also has responded us as good as, or sometimes I see better performances outside. So we have not settled saying that, oh, this is small town, we don't need to. So this is a typical capex. Please look at this in account. This is how what comes from the basic membership fees, entry point. This is the personal, because personal training grew, and I still feel personal training has got tremendous potential to grow. And this is one area I would like to concentrate year on year for one simple reason: there is no capex. And whatever returns, whatever you see, it's all skilled base. I know it's a bit of an unofficial information, I can use this term and tell you. There are people who charges 3,000 rupees as a personal training fees per month, alternate day basis for 1 hour. And I know somebody who charges 75,000 rupees per month, alternate days basis for 1 hour. It's so skilled based, and people pay, and sky's the limit. So this is one area I would like to definitely grow year on year. Whatever happens, this area will not stop growing. So please look at these. Our new initiatives have taken the capex. You can see around 90 lakhs to a crore rupees spent to new form, but at the same time, the revenue per center is also in the same manner, almost nearing to your capex expense. So as the Zumba, so as the Reduce has very little expenditure as any add-on expenditure. And Transform is the combination of these two. Right, so over the years, I'm also working almost 35 years in this field, and I had lovely experiences, and I love doing this business. Somebody had asked me, how much do you like this work? I said, if you take my blood test, you might see dumbbells and barbells in the blood tests. I love so much. But at the same time, when I'm seeing this growth, we have to grow and grow to a next level. And I personally thought that Health Club will continue growing. It will not stop. India is growing. There is so much space. 0.02% of the population is nothing. So, Health Club will keep growing. We will grow and go to the smallest of the towns in India. But at the same time, next level for us to grow is to open the clubs. And those are the sports clubs. Now, when I am saying the sports club, I have seen some of the clubs, and I call them, I use that term, buzzards club, men's club. Yeah, means only drinking club. Now, we want to open a club which will be sports club, where there are lots of sports. I am not yet a very big person to own a land in Mumbai to have a cricket ground. But an acre and a half, 2 acres land is what we need to have in a wonderful club. Sports club where there will be various facilities. There will be swimming pool, there will be tennis courts, billiard room, snooker room, badminton courts, squash courts, name the sports. And those sports will be handled by the experts. I want children basically to come to the club to develop the skills, enjoy the sport. And we don't have many. We want to open the club. So when we decided to open the club, I said, I know how to do it. We all know there will be something good in us to open the clubs. But I knocked on the door of David Lloyd. And I personally met Scott Lloyd. And I said, Scott, I want your expertise. Well, I'm cutting short, and he says, I'll be glad to come to India. So he did visit India and gave his all, forwarded his help, assistance in the form of know-how. So David Lloyd is what we will associate for their expertise to form a club. We bought a space just behind Sayaji Hotel in Pune, and it's Wakad. Is it Wakad? Yeah. Wakad is the proper postal address, yeah. Behind Wakad, and very reputed builder. In next 2-3 weeks, I expect the due diligence called title clearance and etc. The papers will be handed over to us, so we can start the work. And somewhere in October, November 2015, we should open our membership to take the members. And trust me when I say this, I see India or the club has a big, huge future in India. So the concentration of ours is also towards growing in the form of club. Let's have a look at this grid. If you look how we have done, we have not left any errors. And they say when a structure is built up like a pyramid, the chances are that it will remain stronger and growth will continue forever. So we have not left any space at the bottom. Smaller towns, smaller number of populations, convenient pricing is where the hi-fi stands. We are known for our brand as whatever the gyms we have, over the years. And then is what we call as the Talwalkars gym. And the top end is where we are coming out with those big boxes. I call it as big box. So we have covered India in a good manner. This is what you see here. I think I'm expecting in another 30, 35 days, 45 days, we'll have a Banjara Hill, the big box opening, which will be around, to be very precise, not very, very big, precisely 10,000 square foot plus carpet. So people, when you see 25,000 square foot and 20,000 square foot, I could say that, but I'm saying 10,000 carpet. We go to the next. Sir, yeah. Sir. Yeah. So I'm going to invite. This is what I do. Okay. This is what Adarsh just now introduced. That this is operations. So if you have any questions later, please ask. You're most welcome to ask the questions. I request and invite Anand Gawande, the CFO, to come and take over and explain more further about money, finance. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Good morning, friends. A lot of friends I see here. What does all this lead to? What does a company do with this? Because obviously what we are doing today is not an analysis of the Q2 results. We thought we should use this opportunity to not only do a Q2 analysis, which obviously will be part of my presentation, but also focus on what we believe is the management vision. This company actually is a unique company in the sense that very few companies worldwide have been able to profitably do the business of fitness, wellness, or weight loss on a sustained basis. 80 years definitely is a long, long time. When I met the Talwalkar family first, Prashant first, which is what he said just now, if you take my blood, you won't get blood, you will get dumbbells and barbells, is what I saw. So sometimes we are not in sync with what the market believes we should be in sync with. But ultimately, as I was telling one of my senior colleagues today, if you are listed, then you are responsible to the people who are your investors. We have got 16 quarters of sustained growth of more than at a high double-digit level. And that's obviously seen in what you're seeing in the financial summary. The finance costs have gone down. Our net cash from operations have gone up. Our earnings per share have gone from 4.42 to 18.12 in a span of about 6 years. You can also see that the finance cost as a percentage of revenue and otherwise has been going down. Our net worth has been going up. Debt equity ratio is at a very, very reasonable level. AA- rating has been affirmed by 2 rating agencies and not 1, ICRA and CARE. We have tried to improve some of these ratios. In some of them we have been hampered. Our EBITDA margin, contrary to what people believe, has been going up in a leap and bound manner. You can see that it is sustaining at between 49 and 48%. On the other, PAT margins have improved to about 19.5% on a significantly higher level of depreciation. As far as I remember, last year we increased depreciation by almost 90%. It's another 35% up this year. I also remember that several of my friends who are our investors had concerns about 18 months back. Anand, when you provide that additional depreciation, your profit will plummet. There will be huge pressure on the profitability. I think our members as well as investors have shown us that if you are genuinely making that profit, then that is going to come out in some way. ROC has been one area of concern for me as a person, as a company as a whole, and ROE. ROC is something which I need to spend a little time on. 4 years back, in the earlier government and the regime of that government, and I have said this when the government was in power, so I'm not saying it now that they are not in power. their Vice President Rahul Gandhi continues to believe gymming and fitness is important, but at 110% duty structure. So which means we were at a duty structure of Johnny Walker Black Label, we were at a duty structure of probably Marlboro cigarettes, and me and Prashant literally used to not know what to do with this. We used to try and pound up and bring Indian equipment, but it was no use because the treadmill had to be imported, the elliptical had to be imported. Secondly, the interest cost at that time used to be enormously high. Along with that, what very few people understand is that custom duty has a cascading impact because of freight forwarding charge and all other charges move in tandem with the custom duty. So each set of equipment which we today buy at about 75 to 80 lakh with a lower custom duty at that time used to be 1.3 to 1.5 crore and maybe a little lower on quality, like we did not have TV screens on the equipment, etc. This still sustained. We said we want to be in these towns. We want to have a Guntur gym which is equal to a Bombay gym. We want to have a Bareilly gym which is equal to a Delhi gym. And if any of you travel across India to the 78 towns, the Talwalkars National Highway of India, then you will see each gym looks the same. Otherwise, the sustainability of same-store sales growth will not come. Otherwise, this high renewal rate, which we had this quarter, has been one of the most significant quarter in terms of renewal. We had done renewals in excess of 78-79%. We were expecting the current quarter to give us a profitability of only about 17 or 18% at top line level, probably about 23, 24, 25% at bottom line level. Several of my friends who are expert analysts believed the same. My model showed the same thing. Our bank working showed the same thing. Our rating agency papers given showed the same thing. Something triggered off around the end of August, and I think today in my interview on television I said, we have seen a groundswell of discretionary spending coming up. A lot of people are saying the results are not matching with what is happening in the economy. I don't think the new Prime Minister is doing a great job. I think the job of a Prime Minister, if I may go on a limb as to my opinion of what he should do, is make a feel-good factor. That's it. If there's a factor which is feel-good, I mean very few people probably remember what it was to be in India in October, November, December last year. If you close your eyes, you will say it is better to not wake up the next day morning than to wake up the next day morning. Because shares in your so-called market were on a downward circuit and not an upward circuit. We could see that was a period of great pain. But every time we had taken a contrary opinion. Telangana, when it was burning its most, we closed out 6 properties out of the 15 which you are seeing today. The rental for those properties are between 8 and 16 rupees a square feet, 12-year agreement signed. Now you can very well understand that this is not going to be 12% of my top line. This is going to be 4 or 5% of my top line. So we were doing things contrary. Delhi, which is supposed to be such a great market, we temporarily closed the GK2 gym because the owner in Delhi wanted the rent to be increased by 70%. We will reopen it. Vasant Vihar is the other gym. Both are franchise and we have no other gyms in Delhi. I'm not saying this with any amount of pride. I'm only saying we will not do a gym if the rent does not afford it. At the same time, the good news is for the first time in 50 years, we have found a property, signed a LOI or about to sign a LOI. I think Prashant is about to sign it for Kulaba. For Kulaba. Church. So where we are sitting right now. This is like a huge development because it only indicates to me what some of my very dear friends believe, that property market is on the downside and the business market is on the upside. We could not dream of having properties in South Bombay, South Delhi, Ghatkopar, Bandra Kurla complex. We can't. There is another argument which holds in tandem with this. Sorry, I'll complete this part of it. So 17% becoming 23, 24, then why does 21 become 33? Simple calculation, anybody can do the arithmetic. That additional 4% of sales straight adds to my bottom line. There's nothing in between for me. The only cost I additionally incur is a cost of giving bonus, or rather whatever you call as bonus, something else to my employees, to my staff. That's it. My electricity cost doesn't go up. My rent cost doesn't go up. My advertising cost doesn't go up. The bundling of packages this quarter has been a significant impact. Today when a person comes to me, I can say, sir, why don't you take a 1-year membership of Virgin and we are offering your wife a 3-month membership of Reduce. This was not available to us. We are moving away from gymming to fitness. As we move away from gymming to fitness, and if some of you must have studied the slides on new form, transform and others, the ROC and ROE, which are the two significant factors for people, are exceedingly high. They are between 25 and 40%. A gym business used to give 17-18%. We will not do a gym henceforth which will not give me a 25% ROC. Core ROC should be 25%. We are not interested. The second story of this quarter, which I don't know whether people have hit upon it, is this was a year where almost the minimum number of gyms were set up. I myself have been told very clearly by investors and non-investors that you people are spending money after money on existing gym. When are you going to start new gyms? How are we going to see new growth? Because capital cost is just not going down. By this way or that way, you are finding some new ideas to spend capex. I think the answer is in these results. If we had not spent on that capex to have new form within my gym or other reduce in my gym, if I had not had Zumba halls in my gym, if we did not have aerobic hall in my gym, Talwalkars as a company would have had the lowest per capita revenue in the country. Today that per capita revenue has started moving up dramatically. Now that I completed that phase of my work and only one part of it is left from Prashant, which is to put a new form equipment. The equipment for the purpose of machine-based gymming. Now we are in a position to go towards new gymming or new gyms, so to put it. So what you're seeing here is people wanted to know that in a simple state, are we in a position to get in more profit from existing gyms? This is your answer. My existing gyms have given you a 30% growth. So now add to it the new gyms which we will set up in the future. Because most of you have studied the results and we had given them to you earlier, I won't go too much into them. Finance cost, EPS, operating expenses are reduced only because there have been no big gym additions. When gyms get added, the operating expenses reduction may not be the same, but it could be similar. Your P&L is equal to your balance sheet. And here I want to make pointed examples of what has happened. My bank balance has gone from 6 crore rupees to 29 crore rupees. All my short-term loans, which were worrisome for people who were looking at my balance sheet of 31st March 2014, had disappeared. There is no short-term loan. Fixed asset accretion is significantly lower. It will be low till we start the gym expansion plan, which we will start now. Trade receivable, which has been a point of worry for me individually and the company, because that is not a company policy, has come down. And this is what I had told people will happen. Debt equity ratio, which appears 0, is not 0. I hope it is 0 in the future. But it is 0.68:1. What it does mean is that the company has now a platform for both balance sheet and P&L to move to the next level. How do we move to the next level? These are some of the things which we have done. State Bank of India, if you notice the last slide, has become our principal banker and only banker, solo principal banker. The rate of interest they are charging us now is 11% on Indian loans, 2.25% on foreign loans, 2.25%, 25%, 20% of my facility is foreign loans. Hedged also it is about 7%. My interest cost will go down by between 125 and 175 basis points. We have also been told that now that we have got 2 rating agency rating, we could get a debenture difference of cost of 25 to 50 basis points. This is not taking into account what Mr. Raghuram Rajan may do, what Mr. Arun Jaitley may tell him to do. That's all addition to this. None of these benefits have been built into the first half because this probably happened in August, September, around that time. Trade receivables have gone down to 32%. We have put a target on each of the analysis part because I think most of the people who are sitting here want to know what we will do in future. So we have targeted that the credit cycle should reduce to 30 days, represented between 45 and 60 days. That is unacceptable to me because I don't want to go to the bank and borrow money for short term or for the working capital needs. Our August scheme has been a great scheme. We think we'll continue to do well in it. Marketing expenses were kept at a low. Cash and cash equivalent, which is in bank FD, bank balance or debt market mutual fund, is 29 crore. Which means what you are seeing in the balance sheet, that rise of about 25 crore in long-term debt, if you reduce my bank balance, is the same, actually. The company has now made a definite effort. In the yesterday's board meeting and earlier ones, there has been a detailed discussion on how can the company, in some way possible, with tax and rental effective manner, get the properties of the company to give a yield to us as shareholders, all of us, which is significantly more than a rental return of 8 to 12%. We think in the next 6 months, we will outlay a program or less than that, which is tangible, feasible, and which will be carried out by us. If we do what we think we will do, this could also reduce debt on the face of the company's balance sheet. Or it will definitely reduce the capital employed, which will increase the return on capital employed. One of the two is going to happen. I won't dwell too much into this right now. It is my duty and responsibility to say that this is the market value of the properties. Some of them are in key important places like Bandra, Mulund, Jamshedpur, Indore, all across India. We have done that in a very definitive manner. I just explained at great length what the revenue increase is. I definitely believe that we were holding a 20-22% growth rate on PAT. That is not obviously what will happen now. It will be a little more or hopefully much more than that. In the last 12 to 14 quarter, I believe this must be one of the best same-store sales growth rate of 8.9%. Several people had told 6 months back that we may be able to do a double-digit same-store sales growth. We are still not approaching that level, but we will try to make every effort to do that. We surely believe 2016, the cash inflow will be over the capex. We still continue to believe that the capex for the current year should be and hopefully around 850 million rupees and should not be much more than that. We believe that next year capex also should not be much more than that, and then in which case we will have a inflow or cash inflow much more than the outflow which we are planning to put in. What are some of the highlights? Solo banking with SBI, bank balance is so much, accelerated depreciation, ROE is 15% right now, not acceptable, should go up much more. Same store sales growth is 8.9% and reduction of debtors. Several people as we meet over the last 4 years have said, you know what Ananta, there are no international company which we know of listed. So we scratched our brain before this analyst meet. We said let us get you figures and let those figures be tangible. And as you can see, these are figures with a baseline given to you. Most of these are companies which we know very well. Weight Watchers Inc. is a company we plan to emulate in Reduce. Life Fitness, Town Sports International, Central Sports. As I speak, I believe Prashant is meeting one big company next week in Chicago. All these companies, I have not looked at what their EV EBITDA is, what is EV revenue. I thought it important for you to know that there are several companies like this who are listed and unlisted, whose data is available. And going ahead, we will try to get you more data on these kind of things. Club. We have individually and privately discussed with people that we believe club is a game changer. If not a game changer, it is definitely not a capex dragger, if I use the right word. I'm saying forget whether it is a game changer or not, because for a better part of 24 months, no club has come up. We have sustained profitability on the basis of our gyms and not our clubs today. But what will happen if that club comes? And we have put down some of the data here. More importantly, is that capex going to get a return which is significantly more than what the gyms are doing? I think that is understood here. We believe the club will cost about 53 crore rupees. Could be a little different from this. It could be 45, 50, 40. It will entirely depend on how it is done. More important than the capex is what is the P&L. This is a P&L based on writing of...
I can assure you that my appetite to have our own gyms is not yet full. So I will continue making that as many as possible. At the same time, when we speak about the franchisee, I was very surprised in this month that the kind of response we are getting to open franchise. So I don't have the number to give you, to be very precise, but my appetite as an own gym is still there.
And so on the franchising model, I just wanted to know how does the upfront fees goes on these things? Like how much do you charge the royalty?
In Hi-Fi we charge 10 and 10, 20 lakh. 10 as the upfront fee and 10 lakh for the purpose of turnkey supply of equipment. If we get unique locations for Talwalkars where franchising should be done. For example, if we had not got a place in Churchgate, we were looking desperately at a franchisee. Then that is between 20 and 25 lakh, depending on which area which we are in. The main metros obviously we charge much more. The mini metros or the smaller cities we will charge much lesser. The royalty is 6% in the first 2 years generally. and 8% thereafter. Logic behind that being 6% helps them to stabilize the business, and as they go into the mature state, then they should share much more with us.
Okay. So I just wanted to know.
Yeah, we have written there in the presentation. It takes about 16 weeks,
Okay.
4 months, right? Generally 16 weeks. Actually, the gym is ready in about 80-90 days. 30 days to 40 days are spent in getting electrical connection, water connection. 17 permissions are required for a gym. So, Prashant and his team spend a better part of the time doing that. And we are ready probably at the end of 80-90 days. Another 30 days would go in that. We try to minimize that period.
Anybody else?
Just a last question from my side. I just wanted to ask, in the franchisee model, do the company invest on the particular location, let's say that would be the prime location for the Talwalkars? So are we planning to do the investment from our side?
Which one you said?
Like in the franchisee model?
Hello? You are saying whether in a franchise model we spend money?
Yes.
We spend no money.
Okay.
And it's not a franchise.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi sir, my question is basically on the revenue growth of 20% and also if you can provide some light on the breakup of same-store sales in terms of price and volume. And past 4 years, what has been the policy of company in terms of hiking rates, like the gym rates or the new form rates? And like I just want to have a sense on the qualitative that how much you feel the rates can increase every year and what's the policy of the company towards that?
Actually, let me put this question into two parts. Value and volume. What is happening is we used to till about 2 quarters back or 3 quarters back give a consolidated figure of the number of gym members. And several of the people who follow the stock did ask me why did we stop that process. What has happened is till about 3 or 4 quarters back, the company genuinely had only one product, which was gym. So we had gym and we had personal training. Since then, what has happened is we have got new form, we have got reduced, we have got Zumba. These people come for a shorter duration, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Our problem is if we provide you with the figure. For example, if I provide a figure of reduced new form and Zumba together for free floor, my guess is we have got 40 to 50,000 members of those. So suddenly my figure, which was 1.5 lakh last year, will look at 2 lakh. And somebody will try extrapolating that at 15,000, say, then the turnover should have gone up to so much. So to answer your question, the volume growth is coming because people are coming for newer activities joined to existing activity. The value growth is coming because not the basic gym core gym membership, but because the value addition which is put in, those value addition are between 24 and 48,000 rupees. Like in Transform's case, I think which are 60,000 rupees. So for people, it is 5,000 rupees a month. But I'm giving you the annualized rate. So for 3 months, it's 15,000. So basically what happens is there's an intermix of value and volume. You may be a gym member and you may also take 3 months of videos. So you will pay me 15,000 rupees additional. So if I have to answer you, value addition has given the same-store sales growth. This time the renewal rate was exceedingly high. That is a definite.
So this revenue growth of about 20% is sustainable for the next 2-3 years because now you would be expanding more. Since last year you didn't expand.
Because
your performance on the EBITDA has been quite good in terms of margin.
there are a couple of reasons for this, and why I'm so gung-ho about this sustainability is, if you look at this year particularly also, the concentration was more into stabilizing what we had made. That means we did not get caught into the frenzy of opening more gyms, more clubs. Allowed us to settle with what we were good at. Plus, the gyms which were open a couple of years ago, 2 years, 3 years ago, they started maturing what we call it as. Yeah. Third thing is the training programs which we introduced through the Premier Training Academy from UK made a lot of difference to us, because the training allowed us, for the trainers, to understand what they're capable of. In return, this is what Anand just said, that retention of the members increased. So there are a couple of reasons what I'm very gung-ho about, that year on year, if we continue this, it will increase. It will go up in the same manner. Of course, the fear to perform well will always be there. There is no doubt about it. But at the same time, I am very sure about it because parallel to that is the awareness which is growing. Yeah. So I don't think it is just a flash in the pan kind of a performance. It will continue.
Congratulations, sir, for a good set of results. I have two questions, one on operational side and one on financial side. Firstly, on the operational side, sir, you mentioned that there was an issue of certain gyms getting closed in Delhi because of rental issues. Just wanted to understand what steps company has taken to avoid such situations in future, primarily because this results into some amount of reputation risk that is involved, considering that you might lose out on certain members. And how does, in case that gym has been closed, how does those members can continue at that particular gym?
Sure. I'll answer this in again two parts. Anand explained to you about why we closed. But at the same time, he quickly said that we are on the road to open it again. Yeah, that is what we are building. What you said as what precautions we are going to take. At the end of the day, what my experience says is that success story sometimes goes against you. Yeah. So I cannot really promise that this will not happen again because the landlords, what we call it, changes the approach. Yeah. For example, Banjara Hill. Yeah, we are on road number 10 and the landlord asked some 4 times of the rent. And I'm not saying good or bad, right or wrong, but we quickly moved swiftly and took a place next lane with almost the same rent. Yeah. So as we near the end of the tenure, we do approach the landlords. We do start searching in and around. What happened in Delhi was unexpected, we can say. We never wanted this to happen, but we quickly again got back on our feet and trying to get back to what we were. So I don't know if I've answered that question because saying that, the mind will not change, saying that, they are doing well, so let's increase the rent. It's a little difficult for me to promise. But we are trying all the possible thinking. We are trying to increase the tenure. For example, the one which we are signing now in Churchgate, Churchgate Kulaba. We are trying to ask for an extended time than the usual time. So it becomes a lesser burden. So this is the way we are handling this.
So on the financial side, I just wanted to understand why should there be receivables in this business when it's largely cash business? Considering it's more of a retail model, what leads to the pile-up of receivables?
There are three kinds of receivables. First is in the month of March. February, March, we had given an EMI scheme directly linked with bank, where the bank was supposed to credit the money into our account. The second was corporate business. And the third is the turnkey contract which we do for Hi-Fi. When we did this business, as I explained just now, October to March last year, the business environment was extremely bad. We obviously set target for our team, and if those targets are not met, we do not get their bonuses and incentives. If you go 1 year back, 2013 March, our debtors were 1/4 or 1/3 of what they were in 2014 March, because the business environment was better. Which is why we laid out, I won't say a definitive policy, but we have put across a statement that we want to reduce the significance of debtors in our books from between 45 and 60 days to about 30 days in the next 12 to 18 months. This can only happen to 3 things. First and foremost, we will stop giving any kind of turnkey credit for Hi-Fi franchisee. If they do not want to become Hi-Fi franchisee, they need not. This has also resulted in Hi-Fi franchising slowing down to 17 franchises. We do not mind it right now. 2 is on corporate business. Unfortunately, we don't have any option. Okay, most of you people work in corporates. Corporates strike a very hard bargain. So whether it's a bank or an institution or a software company, they all, when they come for 100, 200 or 500 members, either they want a cut in rate, so make 15 to 10,000, or they say if you don't want a rate to be cut so much, then you allow us to pay you in 6 to 9 months. The third category is the EMI scheme. For us, that is an option which we use only when we believe that targets are not going to be achieved. We did not do it in the current year 6 months. We recovered a significant part of our money. We'll continue doing so. I don't want to make any promises for 31st March 050, but we had told people you will see a significant reduction in debtors. I think you will see the same thing happening on a continuous basis.
Yeah, this is with regard to new form. So previously we believed that there were only 7 to 8 new form centers and that was restricted to Mumbai. So now does it mean it's going to be pan-India thing?
Very much. And probably I may not open the most studios is because the demand in the gym has increased. And the reason for not bringing it in the gym initially was also the reason because some of the people who they don't want to come into the gym. Yeah, but today the scenario after 2 years has changed. And people want, even the gym members want to have it in the gym. So we will, as it is, we have almost 150 clubs ready. So my aim is to spread in the present one as well as the new ones. And that will go pan-India, yes. In fact, I have placed an order for more machines to be placed in all the gyms.
Just to follow up, since Transform is the one which we are again banking on. So it's only the new form or it's a Transform complete package? That's what you're pushing for.
I'll explain you what is it's a very thin line between this understanding of Transform and new form. New form is more of an exercise and muscle related. Yeah, people are very keen. They are not overweight. Yeah, but they want to still exercise. They want their muscles to be activated. So new form is ideal for such people. There are people who are keen to lose weight through the diet. Yeah, that means food control and exercise at the same time. EMS technology enhances the speed of weight loss. So people who are into the weight loss program will opt for Transform. People who just wants to maintain the physique, yeah, will go for only new form.
Sorry, just last.
Sure.
With regard to your reduced program, which is part of it, Transform, right? You outsource that to a third party. So is the supply chain, the capacity, everything backed up when you go pan-India level? That is what I'm trying to understand.
Good question. Yeah. We have reduces pan-India. The logistics are taken care very well. And in fact, we chose a manufacturer only after seeing the potential and the capacity of the manufacturer, sustainability and the supply, which will continue for months. Maybe years is the right word. Because even this food has a shelf life. So we have to be very careful about continuous supply.
We have 5 more minutes. Dheeraj?
So in your presentation you mentioned you shied away from advertising for Zumba and other products. Do these products need advertising or it's more localized medium where you need more local advertisements to be done and not television advertisements or print advertisements? Given that for Transform we did print advertisements as well. But going forward, would we do aggressive advertisements to get members?
I understood your question, and again the answer is a little different to this, is because at times it is seasonal. Okay. Now, for example, Happy New Year, increase the attendance in the gym. Yeah, I wouldn't advertise in the gym during this time. Somebody is giving a promotion. Yeah, because you see Shah Rukh Khan's 8 packs. Yeah. Such events do happen even in the local markets. But if I have to launch something, for example, if I have to launch, say, new form in Hyderabad, which we are going to, the next one is the immediate one, I'll go all out because it's a new technology, it's a new understanding, it's a new science. Yeah, for people. Such times we need marketing support because word of mouth takes huge time at times. So even if your product is good, it will take some time. If I cut the marketing, yeah, I will have to wait on the publicity, what we call that. But if I want to make it faster, we will utilize. At times we use a platform called television. Couple of reasons. One is in one go, it covers all my across the country. At the same time, brand value increases the moment we are on the television. Yeah. Third, understanding of a product reaches. Fourth, what I call it just pushes or promotes the thought. Like I keep hearing that what every day I think that tomorrow I'm starting, tomorrow I'm starting. I see you ad and I join. Yeah. So there are many reasons, various reasons, seasonal as well as depending on the circumstances. But we'll continue on whatever the best possible.
We are running short of time. Can we have last few questions, please?
Good evening, sir. So, with this current expansion that you've talked about, or the current expansion that is taking place with Talwalkars in smaller towns, how do you plan to keep competition at bay when there are already local players?
The advantage or rather disadvantage. There are good things that when you are a pioneer, yeah, you get that mileage. In a smaller town, keep one thing in mind: the population is not very high, and when you capture the audience before any competition comes, what you need to do is what matters is the service, and that we try to improve progressive, irrespective. So if I have to say in one word, how do I keep the competition at bay, is by pure service. Otherwise, it is very easy for anybody to bring a maybe one quality better interiors or better equipments. I don't compete in that area. I don't want to compete rather. I compete where my service is. So my constant training to the people is: do not be happy if your member is absent. Yeah, you have to keep calling them. You have to keep calling them because that is where the key is. Because as I said earlier, and not many people like when I say this, exercising is a big punishment. Yeah? And when you are setting the punishment, yeah, I train my staff in a very different manner. I said, just imagine what you're doing. So once you get that taste of it, and my grandfather's absolutely a huge sentence, is like a drug. Exercise is like a drug. Once you get it, that high, you don't want to give up. So get them onto that line, and that is what I call it the service.
This EMS
Yes.
product that you showed in Bombay, you are going to introduce.
We already have.
But any other gyms have the similar product, or?
I am sure EMS basically is not new. It's there in a physiotherapy for years. Yeah. What changes is the frequency. Now this is a little bit science in this. Yeah, at one particular frequency, physiotherapists use that level to heal. Say for example, as a layman's term, injury. This is not that. And if you meet me afterwards, I'll explain you the science in this. Yeah. But there are 3 groups of muscles. Yeah. This directly goes and taps and activates the main muscle strand.
So it is just like you attach a pad on the muscle, and it gives you some electric shock.
Kind of.
Okay. So that is used by the physiotherapist, right?
Yes, but the frequency changes in this, and you have to understand the current. Okay, if you look at the current, the cycle, it goes in and stays. Otherwise, it just goes in. Like if you get an electric shock, you also get the electric. That you know what happens with the electric shock. But this is not that. It goes and stays inside for seconds, milliseconds, which allows the muscle strand to activate.
So, like any other competitor,
Yeah.
has the similar facilities in?
I am sure there are, but I have not heard as a very specifically any one brand. But there are a couple of manufacturers globally. So I'm sure they are selling. I don't know if they are selling in India. Because this is, you need a good specialized training for that. I personally went and stayed in Germany for a few days with all my staff members to learn this process. And I will not deny that they will not come in future as it grows. Because it took us humongous time, energy and trials to prove to people that how it works. So I don't know if others are ready to get into. But I do expect fly-by-night kind of people who will advertise whichever way they like to.
I am talking about your immediate competitor. Is he going to introduce it?
I don't think so.
Or does he have it just now?
Not that I am aware.
Okay, thank you.
May I add something to your question? Which I was tempted to answer it because there's an incidence to this. But first of all, not just new form. None of our competitors offer a weight loss program. None of our competitors offer a spa program. None of them offer massage. I mean, I'm saying at a general level. Unless we are talking of a gym or product of the level of the island at Worli. Okay. We believe in Talwalkars that we are now going from gymming to fitness, and fitness has to be more holistic. So it can mean variety of ways. Just like in a dare gym, we have a refrigerator in the wet area of the ladies, so that the lady who is wearing a Kanjivaram sari as she goes into her gymming uniform or gymming costume, puts her mogre ka gajra into the refrigerator in the gym. I don't think any other competitor thinks of this. So we really have micromanaged that, but more was on the interesting side because right now we are doing a significant amount of research on competitors, and a lot of people approach us for trying to take out their existing gym. Till now we were close to such ideas. Now we are saying we are open to them because this could be a very quick acquisition policy for us. But why I was smiling was because when this new form technology was being introduced, I went to the Bandra gym and I was talking with Prashant and he was very frustrated. So I said, what happened, Prashant? So he said, you know what, I'm doing all sorts of experiment on this equipment. Okay, you are supposed to do it once. This is a place where the owner first punished themselves genuinely. Prashant probably has dislocated his shoulder twice. Okay, because he has picked up weights of 50 to 100 kilos. I don't think I can pick up my own weight, so it's very difficult. So this is a company, when I met them also, as we became owners. That's why I said, you have to treat this company differently. I know you can't. You have to wear your hat and look at Monday morning and the prices. But please do, because this is the fourth generation in the same business. And you are very, very lucky Madhukar Talwalkar is not here today, because he would probably have started with a gymming schedule before we started the analyst meet. So on this nice note, I'll just say thank you to everybody if everybody has finished. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, there are snacks and tea coffee.
कसं नाही कसं आहे माहिती आपापल्या कॅमेरावरती आपापच बसायचं असतं ऐकलं तुझा कॅमेरा तू पकड ना नाही माईक बंद आहे बंद आहे दाखवत नाहीये अरे बंद कर कॅमेरा रेकॉर्डिंग पण